Alright.
Oh, God. He coming up with
No water.
I use some cream people take it and that's down in throat.
Hi guys. Welcome back to another sit down talk with my mom and I. So really quickly we're just going to jump into today's topic. We're not going to really make it too long. We're just gonna jump into today's topic because it's a bit of a, I wouldn't say controversial, but it's kind of like contrasting in a way. So we're going to talk about how parents used to parent back in the day versus how parents do their parenting nowadays. And I think there is a big difference, but I wouldn't be able to say I can tell the difference because how mom was raised is different from how I was raised. More than likely how you were raised is completely different from how I was raised. So
not much, Carl.
Well, not much, but maybe like, you know, environment and things and time compared to now. Compared to now. But I can't really exactly say how nowadays parents.
But it's not about bringing up a child is not about the environment only.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's not about the environment and like the different changes of lifestyle, as you know, everything is more up to date now. That is not. I think for me, the basis of bringing up a child is the whole family thing, the discipline. That is the basis.
The basis
for me.
Oh, for you, okay.
For me. But we are discussing something, and we do have an audience.
Yes.
And they will comment.
So
in the
you guys can,
section.
you guys can tell us.
But
like,
I think back then.
What do you think the basis for parenting is for you?
Back then, the other day, no, I think being parents, responsibility. Kids are not responsible for themselves. So it simply means that we have got to have something that is solid, solid foundation, a solid family foundation to bring up our kids and people
like a good role model, so your kids can take off from them, or they can
and you
use
try
them.
your best, because sometimes it's really hard, you know, because every child is different.
Exactly.
People are different. Okay, let's take me and your dad for instance. Make we be the guinea pig. Coming together as two people, getting kids, getting children or whatever. Kids, some people have a problem with it. Some not. Me don't know. Maybe want to say children. Your dad is coming from a different background from what I am coming from.
From what you're,
So it is for us now to get together as parents and to decide on how we want. Although most of the times, you have a lot of men, they play a big role in bringing up their kids too.
They do. Yeah.
They do. And, but I wouldn't say most of the times. Because sometimes, even though the men are there, father figure is there, they really are never the sterner ones. You know? So it has to do with the background of each parent, and then we have to come together to make a decision on how we want to bring up our children. Suppose for him, mother used to buff him. Like a lot of beating, you know, first time people them around for beat. Because then they didn't know any better. They didn't know any better. But suppose him a be the father we want beat, or him is not the father we want do a lot of, you know, physical punishment and them something there. And I want to be the one. So different background. And some of them that grow me and some do that, you know what I'm saying? Yes, so it has a whole lot to do with it. But I would think this real family thing, disciplinary family background, that should not be missing from any bringing up of children. That's just me.
Okay. So how were you raised back then?
Okay, actually,
because I think in the case of back then and nowadays, this is back then for you and nowadays.
Yeah, this is definitely back then for me.
So how were you raised?
Yes, I can share that. Actually,
or just like the basis of how you were raised, like the foundation, the things, principles that you were raised on, the principles you were raised on.
There were lots and lots of principles. My parents were really poor financially. And that's not a sideline. I don't know where I use it as a sideline. We were financial, and I wouldn't say we were the poorest, because my father was a licensed butcher. My mother, back then, she was a homemaker, but she worked. Homemaker, and she worked. She go to the market, and that's her. And she would make our uniforms. Come and say everybody know me follow all boys.
Yeah.
So she would make my little tunic and blouse. She would make their shirts, and the tailor would make their pants.
Okay.
So she's basically a homemaker slash working mom.
Okay.
My father, him never business. He never cared. He was the one that always talk about, because he gave us a little of his bringing up.
Okay.
His father was the calm one. His mother was the one that
more stern one.
Yes. She whooped. She did the most outrageous things according to what he said. And his theme and philosophy is that's the same way he's gonna hand it down.
That's the same way he's
kids.
going to bring it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mother, she lost her mom. She said when she was about. She actually don't know her mother. I think she said her mom passed away when she was 2. She was the last one, so she never knew her mother.
Okay.
But actually, there were some little things that coming like back then. That that whopping, strapping thing.
Yeah.
And she believed in that. I think, the regular have manners, say good morning, and I still believe in that until now.
I think that should be
Say good morning,
everybody
say
should
good
be believing in.
afternoon. Yes.
Yeah.
You go to church. Yeah. I don't go to church. I'm not a church goer. I become an adult now. I'm not a church goer. You, if you want to go to church, from coming up, I always tell you.
Yeah.
That if you want to go to church, you can go to a church. So next time maybe we'll talk about go to church / whatever. We can maybe use that as another sit down. Because me talking about that, I think it brings me to another topic for you.
Yeah, that is
for
another
time.
topic.
So I would say just pretty. All I would take away from that was, and my mother didn't beat me a lot. She would she was very stern too. I wouldn't say she had too much of the olden days in her.
Okay.
But principle,
she was very
yes,
big on
and she was very big, and you not telling lies. She was because she my mom disliked liars. She was a very big. And you not telling lies, being kind, and I don't think I got so much. She didn't say a lot of her upbringing, because actually she was 2, so she did run her big sister. She had bata, cause her mother did friend. She had 2. Her father was there, and he took a woman after, and he was like all up with his woman, and her big sister, but her big sister was, to all the things that she told me, her big sister was kind of disciplinarian, but some things that she tell me, say, our big sister would, she said, treat her. I don't think that's a big sister. I don't get it. It was a little bit complicated to me.
Okay, so her situation was complicated, basically. We could kind of sum it up.
Because she said her sister was her idol, but because she had to make that sister her idol, because the rest of them gone about their business. She was the only one.
She's the only role model for her to look up to.
Yes, so that sister was her role model. But some of the things that she said her sister did, her sister even though she would give her anything and she's her role model, her sister was a malice keeper.
Okay.
It doesn't matter like if 2 sisters them come together and have a little argument.
Disagreement or something.
Yeah, she would just like malice her for weeks, and even if she tried to go and talk to her, she wouldn't talk. I wouldn't look at her as a role model. I would never look at So it's a bit like that. And then, but I would say the basis of my bringing up with my mother was just plain discipline, just plain simple, and she was very big, and I say not telling lies, and schoolwork, school.
Okay.
Schoolwork, but basically the regular thing, you gotta go to church, you gotta come back and tell her what was the golden text, you gotta tell her something that happened at church. You gotta sit like a child. You gotta walk like a little girl. You know the necessary. All the,
regular.
Yeah, all the regular. You can't put this in, and you are not allowed to wear your bras until all the necessary all the time things.
Those are the all the time.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, those are all the time things.
Okay. So, if I was to compare it to that now, I would say the basis of your upbringing and my upbringing, or you growing me up, is the same. Discipline, number one. Mom is very big on discipline. That's her standard, that's her golden rule. Manners, of course, obviously the regular good morning, good night, all of those stuff, thank you, da da da. And even sometimes, if mom may have something, I guess that's just how I'm wired at this point, really, because of how I'm brought up, I guess. Even if mom have something, let's say for instance, a piece of bun in the fridge, and it's me and mom, obviously like that. If I see the piece of bun in the fridge and I know it's hers, I'm still gonna ask.
Yes.
But then she'll be like, call me and put enough to ask that. I still see a need to ask because it's manners. It's not mine.
I was brought up that way.
It's not mine.
Not to take what is not
exactly.
yours.
It's not mine. And as such, if I feel
and
like
I
I want
you
peace, I still
that.
ask for it because it isn't mine. You understand me? Schoolwork, very important of such. School is very important in our home of such because mom wants us to get the highest level of education that we can get for ourselves. But she doesn't, you have some parents out there, they may threaten you if you not do this or if you not get that.
Yes, I was threatened by my mother, but listen, let me I was threatened when it was coming to end of year exams. I was a brilliant little girl. I always say that. And I make no apologies for saying that because if me not say me the brilliant, nobody not gonna say so. I knew I was very brilliant.
Yeah.
The teachers, other children knew, and me of myself knew say me did brilliant. So make no sense. Yeah, go say me know I'm bright, but me not take no credit for it. Hello, I'm taking the credit for it. Maybe back then when me never understand how world run, I would say that. But anything that I know that I'm good at, I will be taking the credit for myself. Now we're talking about it because these days are different.
Yeah, we're to take it
but so she would always not too harsh, not too heavy, because I've never failed. Even one year when my ear says she have guava whip on that bed, I wait if me not come first, and I'm saying like, Mama, what was that? Because I always in your class, but she was, but I think my mom was just being led away to people talking at that time.
So basically like talk and things around.
Yeah, a lot of parents always come together.
Yeah, and then everybody have their own little opinion.
I had family members that really never liked me, but my mother wasn't that much of a person that can pick up certain things easy. You get what I say? Because her fear was, I am the first and only girl that she has ever brought up. So she understands why I put them according to her. But because, girls, people are saying you're going to get pregnant early and bring in baby. That was her fear with me.
Okay.
But I don't think but I don't know. But that was it. And then let me say, to say one thing. I wasn't brought up. Because let me tell you, there was a sort of division. Because down the bottom house, the boys sleep down there. Me and she and my dad. Because remember, me and the last one, and the one, some of them are some big old man, they have picnic with me and them are same age. So that it's kind of not a clue,
Yeah, no, obviously.
Yeah, so wake up to see everybody. And even if we did wake up to see everybody. Like how you see we wake up inside here, and it doesn't matter even if we come out and we're having a bad day. If like Gerard, when he have a bad day, if he don't want to say good morning, in just wave, but it still doesn't matter. We acknowledge each other when we come out.
You still acknowledge each other.
Me never bring up, I wasn't brought up in that way.
Okay.
And I'm so happy for that today, that even though we are here, and when, once we come and contact with each one for the morning, we say good morning. It doesn't even matter if we vex about something or if somebody have something the night before, we still say good morning, Yes, but I wasn't brought up that way. So I decided to instill that. And I wouldn't, and I'm not going to say I took credit for that. I'm not going to take credit for that with you guys in the family. You just do it on your own.
Yeah. I feel like with things on time now, that is kind of necessary to do. Yes, so back to what I was saying. With school, honestly, well, from my upbringing, yes, school is important, definitely. And I remember that of it, but mom had never forced me or never pushed me beyond my limits with anything. She would
No,
just
I
say,
didn't pressure
do
my
your
kids.
best. That's all we expect
Threaten
of
of
you.
you.
Yeah,
No.
that's all we expect of you, to just do your best.
Never put that on.
I
Never
remember
you
one
nor your
time.
brother. Never.
I remember one time, and this was the funniest thing. I didn't even know until the day I went to school. They had this big gathering for the entire grade 7 division, and everybody was there sitting down, and they literally said, they're giving out prizes. I didn't know it was prize giving for it or anything like that. I didn't know. I'm just come to school today and sit down and see everybody did it. And then they said, for the person who got the top spot in grade 7 for the entire grade 7 division, they called my name. I sat there for a second in that seat and I said, oh, the matter because I can't me. And not in a way of doubting myself, but it's just like, how did that happen? Because I didn't do anything different than normal, and I guess I don't know why I didn't do anything different than normal. To this day, I'm surprised as to why I still have that award. But when I told mom, everybody was still happy, and to this day, I'm treated no differently from when I get first than when I don't get first or anything like that. I'm not treated any differently with that.
I brought up you and your brother to take your rightful place in society. Be you. Not every, you see, a lot of us as parents don't understand. And not every pitney are A pitney. Not every student is an A student. Some have to get B, some have to get C, some gotta get an F. We actually don't want our kids to be getting F. But you must come to the realization that not every child, you might have 3 or 4 kids, and not because this one always gets straight A's, you want to compare this other one to that other one. Give them a break, cut them some slacks, let them be who they want to be, encourage them, try with them, and at some point, instead of keep just nine at them, why you bring them the ear, bring them the ear, bring them the ear, bring them the ear. Just sit down and watch them and try to look at them and help them to be who they want to be.
And see what they do better
and see what they do better.
What they don't
Maybe
do better
they are
in.
not that academic child, that not be the academic
Maybe they're
child.
athletic.
But they are
Maybe
athletic.
they are in arts and crafts.
Maybe they want to be in some form of skill.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to be
maybe they
a
want to
chef.
take up a skill. Yeah, maybe
You know, I can remember I had a sister in once and she had a son. And when he came by me, he was in his teens. Oh, that little young man, he was so thrilled by when him see me dish out lunches. And I'm saying to her, you need to relax. From one mom to another, I'm telling you, relax.
You have to pay
She
attention.
had 3. And the first one got all and everything and go to university. And I said, relax. Let him be who he wants to be. And she said, me notice the cooking thing. I said, let him be who he wants to be. You know, relax and do not compare your kids with each other. Then first time people say 7 pitney, 7 different minds. Another thing too, must be very big, very, very big in your family. Stealing. You have to try to eliminate with kids coming up.
Yeah, you should eliminate
and
that
things
there.
missing in the household. And nobody can what's that word?
What's the word?
Whatever.
No,
Can't give no account.
Can't give an account for it. Yeah.
You know, you must not let that prevail in your household. I came up, and as I told you, I was the smaller one, and the bigger ones, they didn't live in that house. We had an outdoor kitchen down at the bottom here. This was a shoe house there. No, they would steal from my mom. You know. And I came up and I never, and then one day, you know, when I went on my own, I think I had Gerard and Mama came by and she was kind of talking about the characteristics of her children, you know. And when she came down to me, she took them in stages. She said, Debbie, you are the only child that never stole from me. I don't stealing, telling lies, those things. Me carry you, and everybody knows that every little pitney I go tell a lie. You know, if you have a little child in it, no matter even if you are Christian and you are at church, but you have to discourage it.
Yeah, you have to.
Once you can identify that lie is being told, and you know have to deal with it in a harsh way, if you beat them. You just sit down and reason with them.
You just have to make them know that there are consequences, whether from it's from you, or just in the world in general.
Yes,
there are consequences for
you know,
doing
and
these
then
types
you
of
know,
things.
family meetings,
Exactly.
family gatherings, and you know, sitting together. So I didn't have family meetings and family gathering. I didn't have that. I wasn't brought up that way. But as I grow on this journey of life, you not being a dud, you come up, you're not dud, you know, and you start you start having children. You're a parent. Actually, you're looking for where you want to see your children then be. And to this day, I am not disappointed in neither you nor your brother. You know, respect, principle, I want to care on yourself and. Just like in a normal way, not too extra.
Yeah, just and the thing is, we do that because it's for us. We are. And finding I always
instill in you, be who you want to be. Just take your time, take it slow. Don't go too much. Just focus on your education. And even though I tell you focus on your education, when I see things are hard and you're trying, I never try to. You see, especially in these days, you have to be careful, you know, because we are in a different era. That as soon as children not getting work right at school and things that happening, you see the trend that it's taking.
Yeah.
So when I hear that as a mother, it really pains my heart, because right there and then I know that moral support. I always give moral support. I say, come, even now you're going to university or to college.
The thing is,
and sometimes I see her stressed. And I said, come here, you need to sit down. You need to take a break. Take a break. Take a break. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to lose your whole cool and then me end up come to my house and look for you. No, you want to, I don't care. Maybe something, look here, because look here, people don't understand, you know. Every picnic built different.
Everyone is built differently.
And also, it's not anything hard for you to fly off of your rockers.
And also the school,
it's not anything hard for young people now to just fly off of them rockers because of school.
Very easy.
I'm telling you,
also the
these are different days. They might eat different food. These are different time. And back then, I am not sure. Our education was pretty hard. It wasn't easy.
Back then education, I don't want anyone to compare back then education with education now, because what they did back then is for your time, so it will be
but hard. It was still pretty hard, but the people can't come in.
No, the thing is, okay, I can tell you why I wouldn't say necessarily in my case, why I wouldn't say, oh, back then it kind of harder than nowadays. When I was doing CXC and I was doing past papers, because for CXC it's good to do past papers. You get a lot more information and practice.
And CXC is hard.
And CXC is hard.
I did CXC.
But the thing is, I don't think anyone should be comparing education back then to now, because back then education for its time was hard. Education now for its time is still hard because of the system of education that we have, that we are under.
I would say more complicated more than hard right now, you know. Because they make it complicated.
They make it complicated, and that's the thing. How these questions are put in place and stuff
I would
like
say,
that. They make it complicated.
I am not sure. I mean, I'm going to school, I don't know that, but certain things that I hear you speak of, I say, I would say, it is not that it's supposed to be that hard. It's they just make it complicated. Because
it's how they put questions. It's how they put questions in place.
It is quite evident that some of these things are made complicated for you to do over modules.
Exactly.
You mean a past paper back then compared to now? Compared
to a past paper now. When I did those past papers back then, okay, cool, chill, alright. So your exam is about maybe an hour 15 minutes, or 30 minutes. If I did the past paper, when I do the past paper for practicing, because I time myself, you know, it's good to time yourself.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes. When I do the past paper back then, let's say about 1990 or 1996 or something, quick 30 minutes, I'm done. Man, so I like question them. And I feel confident with my answers because I know they are correct, because the questions are asked in such a straightforward form. When I do the past paper from the year before or 2 years before, me gone 2 hours over and the exam I 1 hour 15
That's why
minutes.
I just say it is not that it is harder now. It's
just
the
way these things are situated and how they are and how the questions are asked, because it's kind of like, wait there, me not sense to my education now, or what is it? But when you kind of figure it out and you start to realize that it's not the education, you're learning it properly. It's just the way these questions are put in front of you. A lot of these people make these questions hard just so that you do not, plainly just so you not pass.
I see it that way too.
They ask these questions a lot of time plainly so that you don't pass.
You have
because
to
when
repeat
you ask
that
them,
you have to pay over to do that.
exactly, because when you say to some of these teachers, or when you say to some of these teachers or lecturers and say, oh, you know, what was the answer to this, and they give you the answer, you say, so wait, they couldn't ask it this way instead of that way.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
I guess it's a complicated. We are living in a complicated world.
Exactly.
So
and which is why, even though it's a complicated world, I think one thing that you should keep at ground is parenting. Your parenting needs to be of a good foundation, or a solid foundation at home, in order for your child to really go out there and
I
still
want
have
to
a
say
solid
to
foundation.
parents, give your children moral support. That's that I want to say to them. I think we might be wrapping up now. Moral support. No matter how they're old and tough. If you pay the school fee and it's so happen that they have to fail a module, don't quarrel. You don't want them to do it. But look here. Moral support saves lives. Would you say that?
Yep.
Moral support, I'll end on that. Saves lives. Words of encouragement. Be there.
A word.
Give a hug.
Yeah, words of encouragement
slow down.
Is much more important sometimes.
Slow down.
Yeah, it's much more important than you think.
Don't give the child that idea that if them not pass, where the money
they should be afraid. Exactly. They should be afraid or worried because they go into children. They go
even
into
if
school
I'm
with
not
that.
talking about university level only.
No,
I'm
in all
talking from
aspects.
even the first day of school.
Yeah.
From
even kindergarten.
They must send them to school 1 year old now, no?
No,
Something like that. Me see also look at something like that school. Me see them all 6 months. So, but from ever they start
from like
out,
pre-K, I think.
moral support, and that is why I always say I want nobody, and literally nobody involved in me and my children in relationship, because I want to bring you up to let you, because I had people interfering with me and my mother's relationship, and I knew how it felt.
It can change how people are supposed to parent their children.
Yeah.
Hearing other
So
people's
I don't want
opinions
anybody
on this
and I don't interfere.
Can.
I don't interfere either. And if you are a mom and you come and you say to me, son, yeah, talk about your picnic, I always encourage you. Just relax, take it slow, encourage them. Yeah, them not no manners, yes. Enough of them not no manners. So them say young people. None of them are perfect. You know, some of us get some that are really outspoken. Some of us get some when I go so outspoken, then we vex up. But that's the way of the world. Throw what up on that. But I want to say to you, parents, give your children from this is school. School is hard. Every child approach schoolwork and learn at school different. I am telling you. Nobody listen to anybody I tell you about. Oh yeah, every child must learn. Every child now go learn. I'm telling you, not everyone. Some of them, you know, you have some children whilst in class and teachers teaching, they always drift away, making little boats, making little stuff. Maybe that child want to be an architect or something. Have you ever thought about that? Hey, you know, I listen to a teacher, boom in a head, back, fling, dust,
or have they maybe ever thought that the teacher's teaching method isn't working?
That is for a different.
But that's for a different topic. That's for a different topic.
Having the ability, or having the what's that thing? What's that thing? Having everything, you're teaching and everything, but poor teaching skills, you cannot, you don't have the ability to pass on what you know to the students, whether it be at the university level or kindergarten level. We're going to talk about that.
So
one
question I do have: what's one thing that you think parents know, or what do you think? That's one thing, whether back then or now, parents. What's one thing that you think they should keep in their parenting skills? What's one thing that they should keep? No matter whatever change, no matter how world changes or anything like that. What's what? Moral support?
Moral support.
Okay.
Moral support. Teach. Just keep your kids close to you. Question. I'm gonna ask you one more. If you don't give your child, you don't give your child
So yeah, emphasis on me and my child.
Yes. If you don't give your child moral support, who is going to?
Yeah, that's true.
Can you answer that?
Nobody else.
Who
can
is
give
going
it.
to? It's your child. You want the best for them. Hello, yes, you pay for 1 million CXC and 20,000 whatever. Yeah, you never try to find out, you know, what the pitney want. You go through all the process for PF make the pitney get what is the thing name? What is the name when time I get for go CXC? What's that word?
What? Oh, extra classes?
No, when you get to when you're in the class and you're supposed to pass the subject to get that word for God's sake.
Recommendation.
Recommended. Yes, I'm talking. Oh no, me always come out with the realness. Yes, some of not me. Some parents, you know the pitney not ready to do it, but you get licky and pay your money, and the pitney get recommended. And in God's sake, now, hello. And who recommend them for God's sake? I go mark your paper, you know. No. Let your child be what he or she wants to be. Learn to identify a little tailor coming up. Learn to identify this little chef, this little sous chef that might become world known. Learn to identify that mechanic coming up. We are going to be that big mechanic. We are going to take computerized by storm and not have no degree. Not because we say degree. Not everybody have the ability for a degree. When the kids come, try your best to support them. Let them do what they want to do. Let them be what they want to be. I never ever fuss with my children. I say, look here, I tell you, go along out there, you know. Make sure say you get the whole I hear them, you know. Hello, all the is not out there for your children alone. And just maybe you know out there for your pitney. Suppose not be out there and not see out there. But there is this beautiful sous chef out there for your child. Encourage your children. Let them just support them in what. As long as it's not anything we forget them in a trouble and outside of the box.
Yeah.
Let them be who they want to be. Alongside them, support them, encourage them. Okay? Because look here, first time people used to say, if I even say bust the head and put the brains, hello. That were the days that I am coming from, and you all know that. Just let our children be happy. Enough a wide percentage of the times when our children fail, they are not happy. Don't let the children, you know, don't deprive them of their happiness. Make them be what they want to be.
And that's where we're going to end it today. Wise words from the wise woman herself.
I mean, I'm really wise, you know, but I'm just, I see it when you do it that way.
It works.
You as a parent, you feel more relaxed, and the child is more relaxed. And they, then from there, because sometimes some of them can't make up their mind early, you know.
Very true.
Especially the boys. It's very hard for them to know what they want to do. I have one boy and one girl, and I can say from that girls are easier to know what they want to do as opposed to boys. You know, the boy putting them never them always be the last to know what they want to do. And that's what I find. But look here, let's just support our children, because actually they are the future. We can't be no future again. That's it.
Okay guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment, you know, talk to us down below in the comment section as usually, as you always do. Communicate with us, tell us your thoughts, your opinions and stuff like that as well, what you agree with, any other side notes and stuff.
Respectfully,
of course.
Please respectfully.
But nobody don't
try. We didn't say anything disrespectful.
No.
So please don't come. You might not agree. It's everything that we say. Remember, it's a discussion. So maybe you can take a thing or two from it.
Yeah.
But maybe you have a comment
something
that you left there, principle, and
we can take a thing or two from it.
That would be fine. That would be nice. We would appreciate that. But do not go outside of the box and make an epistle, and then we get carried away, and then because you make the epistle and we get carried away, we're gonna read the whole eye, and then at the end there is something that would take something from. Let us keep it positive. Let us not make the comments complicated. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, and make sure to just, as usual, like, subscribe,
comment,
share, and we'll see you guys in another sit down video or vlog.